From Nutrien Ag Solutions, this is Senior Meteorologist Andrew Pritchard with your Canadian Prairie weather story for Monday, December 13th, 2021. We've got another shot of colder air starting to work its way down into the Prairie. This will be following a storm system that's sneaking through over the next 24 to 48 hours. You can see that here on the infrared satellite picture. You see this comma shape here. This is that big area of low pressure blasting the west coast of the United States with another heavy dose of precipitation. A little piece of that, though, going to break off and move across the Prairie, bringing some snow, primarily north of Highway 16 once again, but we'll see some of that making its way across southern portions of the Prairie, again, as we head through the next 24 to 48 hours. Now, we'll start off looking at the radar. Not much going on across the Prairie right now. Much of the snow activity confined to southern portions of British Columbia. The precipitation continues down across the Pacific northwest of the U.S. A little bit of light flurry activity here possible up toward Peace River, over toward Grand Prairie on Monday morning. But we'll see here. We'll take a look at the NAM model, and that'll show us much of the snow overspreading the area as we get into Tuesday. So a quiet Monday for much of us on the Prairie, kind of hit or miss clouds and sunshine across the region. Again, some of those snowflakes across Peace River and Grand Prairie today. Tomorrow, snow overspread central and southern Alberta, heaviest north of Highway 16, so Edmonton, you'll see a little heavier dose of snow during the day on Tuesday. This starts to move into Saskatchewan on Tuesday night before continuing into Manitoba on Wednesday. Again, the heavier snow north of Highway 16. As you get south of that, we're talking about scattered flurries. You can see kind of along the cold front there, those flurries from west to east, again from central and southern Alberta on Tuesday during the day, into central and southern Saskatchewan as we get into Tuesday and Tuesday night, and then off into Manitoba on Wednesday. Another area of low pressure down here across the northern and central plains of the U.S. That's going to be winding up as we get into Wednesday and Thursday. A heavier corridor of snow here possible across portions of the Dakotas into the upper Midwest, maybe clipping you there in the Winnipeg area. Likely going to pass to the south there, with us just getting kind of the scattered flurries on that frontal boundary as we head through Tuesday, Wednesday, into early Thursday. So winds with this one, we've had several systems sweep through with very strong winds across the Prairie. Not quite as bad with this one. We'll still see those winds gusting anywhere from 40 to 60 kilometers per hour, especially on Tuesday and Wednesday as that area of low pressure passes through the region, but not talking about anything getting into the 80, 90, and 100 kilometer range as we head through the next 4 to 5 days. Total snow accumulation from the NAM model. Again, you see the corridor of the heaviest snow along and north of Highway 16, getting into northern portions of Saskatchewan and Manitoba. That's where we could see snowfall in excess of 20 centimeters. As you get south of that, the rest of the Prairie, you're talking about seeing snowflakes, maybe getting a light coating to a few centimeters, but it's really Peace River, Grand Prairie, Edmonton, maybe Saskatoon seeing measurable snowfall. Everyone else, it's going to be pretty light, a trace light coating, a few centimeters of snow here from this system, with the heavier snow passing north and then passing south with the following area of low pressure. So side by side, the NAM on the left, European model on the right. Good agreement there. Heavier snow north, lighter snow to the south. As we add in the rest of the week here, we see another corridor of snow cutting across the region, potentially late week, with another one potentially following that early next week, kind of continuing the theme that we've seen. Now, as I show you the 500 millibar height patterns here, we can see the big ridge that's delivering unseasonable warmth to the Corn Belt here, portions of the Midwest U.S. Here's the big area of low pressure that's bringing all the moisture to the Pacific Northwest, portions of British Columbia, and then sliding down into California. As I hit play on this, I'll bring it back. We'll go ahead and step through the next few days. Here's the little piece on Tuesday that breaks off. You see it starting to break off here across Alberta. It then scoots across the Prairie Tuesday, Wednesday, into Thursday. Here's the southern leg that creates the corridor of snow across the northern plains into the upper Midwest. This is the area of low pressure that drags the cold front kind of connected to that across the Prairie with the scattered light flurries midweek. On the backside, we see another wave embedded in this coming around the backside Thursday into Friday. That one brings a chance of snow to portions of primarily Alberta. And then we see another one coming here on the heels of this into Saturday. This is the next one that brings a chance of accumulating snow to the region. So The problem with this pattern and what kind of precludes it from bringing really heavy snowfall or, blizzard conditions or a real big dose of moisture to help eat into some of the dryness here and help us add to that snowpack. We're looking at precipitable water. So you can see the moisture fetch from the Pacific and from the Gulf of Mexico here. And as I hit play on this, you see the first low sliding down, bringing much of its precipitation and much of the moisture down to the west coast. You see another system sneaking in here. This is the one that comes in mid and late week. What you'll notice is the systems, these waves come in kind of from the Aleutian Islands through the Gulf of Alaska, and then they come down here across the west coast of the United States. So rather than ejecting straight across here, delivering that moisture straight from the Pacific and, even better, tapping into the Gulf of Mexico, we're just kind of bringing these from north to south, taking that Pacific moisture and depositing a lot of that on the west side of the Rockies, and much of the moisture wrung out by the time any of that upper level energy gets into the Prairie region like we see here midweek. Much of the snow north into the northern portions of the Prairie provinces, not much going on south of the low track. So here we go through midweek. The first wave cuts through. Here's the southern piece of that coming through the Midwest as we get into Wednesday night and into Thursday. And then we see the next wave coming here. This is the next individual system that comes in Friday. That one bringing that chance of snow primarily to western portions of the Prairie, but you see it do the same thing, just kind of dive down to the southwest. That's kind of what it keeps this pattern active, but not all that effective as far as heavy doses of moisture in the Prairie, where we badly need some of that moisture here to add on some of that snowpack. So the actual precipitation forecast here, again, a relatively quiet day for you on Monday, except for the folks in Grand Prairie. Peace River may be seeing some of that Monday snow. Everyone else here in central and southern Alberta, you'll hold off till late Monday night into Tuesday. The heavier snow still going to be north of Highway 16, Edmonton, maybe over towards Saskatoon, seeing some of those heavier snow rates late in the day on Tuesday. Area of low pressure continues off to the west Tuesday night into Wednesday. And then Wednesday, that snow makes its way into the Winnipeg area, tapering off Wednesday night. Next system comes in here from northwest to southeast. Let's go ahead and jump back. I didn't mean to click ahead there. I do want to show you this late Thursday into Friday system here that right now, darn it, here we go, jump back, deposits much of its snow here central and southern Alberta. I'm just going to let it there, lightly touch the mouse pad there. So here's your Thursday into Thursday night snow, primarily in western areas here, central southern Alberta into western Saskatchewan, a light coating possible there. And then maybe a heavier dose of snow, depending on how this system over the weekend actually tracks through here. Right now, it does look like it could bring a dose of 5 to 15 centimeters of snow to central and southern Alberta, into central and southern Saskatchewan, but this system also diving down off to the southeast. So snowfall here on the 5 to 15 centimeter range, not talking about a heavy, extremely disruptive snowfall producer. So between now and Saturday, we'll take you through the work week into the first half of the weekend. Your probability of picking up 3 inches or more of snowfall from the European ensemble on the left, GFS ensemble on the right. Great agreement here. The heavier snowfall, Peace River, Grand Prairie, Edmonton, maybe Saskatoon. You're on the periphery of that. Everyone south from there, we're talking about a much lighter dose of snow over the next 5.5 days. Colder temperatures starting to work their way in. It'll certainly be quite cold as we head through the majority of the work week. You'll see that here in Calgary. Your highs here, minus 10 or below as we head through Friday. Edmonton, you see the coldest air work its way in here Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. That high minus 19. Overnight lows in the mid minus 20s. Saskatoon, a very similar look here. That cold air is really going to be taking hold through the majority of the week. Winnipeg, you'll see those highs below minus 10 Thursday, Friday, Saturday, with overnight lows between minus 15 and minus 20. So colder this week, couple chances for light snow midweek, and then as we get toward the weekend.